feminine hygiene products
Well, yeah,
from
it's
guys
gross.
unless they're like living with them. You get used to it.
All right. See, it's a little like. Ugh.
Feels like it's working better.
Okay. Darn, it's just like I know it'll be slow sometimes, but it's good.
Hopefully, we can get our 3 people back.
Come on.
We got 1 person.
Sorry, guys, if you're
Oh
over there.
no!
Hi, buddy.
Hello, friend. You almost missed International
Robert.
Pizza Day. What's going on, dude?
Happy International Pizza Day. I should put that in the title.
Right? I mean, because that's like why we're eating pizza. The dog isn't eating pizza though. Every day is a dog day, and every dog will have his day.
Every single one.
Hello, I'm here with beer. Hi, Alice and
Oh,
your
Alice! Alice is awesome. She's from Ohio. She got late the other day. She's like, she's a mom, and she was like getting crunk and having a good time. All the moms get, even the non-mom moms get. I'm the non-mom mom. Get crunk.
Yeah, you're like the mommy archetype. You're not like a literal mommy.
Yeah, especially the blessed mommy. I'm a blessed mommy.
Well, yeah, obviously you're not like the Red Queen.
She ain't no bossy ass bitch. Do a little bit of work.
I mean, I'm not really into that lady. I
Oh,
feel like
totally forgot to get no fat check again.
Yeah, because people talk archetypally about I was broke. That's my excuse this time. And she said she was gonna have pizza because it's International Pizza Day, so I didn't even.
Next time again.
Yeah, I know. I feel like we keep teasing you.
You showed me a picture. You had a picture of some. You got fried Oreos or something.
Nice. I've actually never had their crazy like sweets and stuff. I always just get the
sound?
sandwiches.
Are you guys not getting any sound?
Oh, boo. Well, do you usually have an additional microphone?
No, I've been usually just using this.
Do you have that microphone that you got?
Yeah.
Because if you have a microphone plug in on your computer, that might actually work.
USB. It's not like it's a USB.
Well, this is like a headset thingy.
I don't have one for a headset.
But what about that little one that you got? This like a camera microphone. Remember the nice one you got from Sweetwater?
Oh, yeah, I think I tried that once.
It didn't work.
Try that. Here, we're gonna try this one first.
That would I can maybe next time I'll bring my camcorder over and we can plug your microphone into that. Because that's what it's made for. I imagine it would plug into the headset one. Yeah, you usually use this, don't you? You guys still can't hear us?
Hello?
Yeah. You guys, y'all hear nothing? I heard a noise like something connected or something. Is this thing doing stuff?
No.
Stuff?
It's National Pizza
Stuff?
Day.
Hmm.
That's true. All right, I'll talk to you later. What was that noise?
I have no idea.
No,
You're getting like messages. It's not this. I thought it was maybe related to stuff connecting. Oh,
he says you can hear.
People can hear us?
They can hear us. Oh,
we're like basing everything we're believing off of maybe one comment that somebody thinks that.
Should I take this one out?
Well, if it works, it works. Maybe for all I know, they couldn't hear it until you plugged that in.
Okay. Everything's working.
If you guys can't hear us now, then we won't fuck with shit anymore, and we'll just stream. Sorry, we're taking a minute to get our shit together. But thanks for tuning in. I missed everyone.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been like 2 or 3 weeks.
Because it like snowed. It was snowy both Wednesdays for a while, I remember. Macon Senior. Hey, Joe Morham. Got on my peeps. What are you doing?
My mustache is extra
Oh, now it came up. I don't know if I can do anything with it.
Well, looks like it's not muted now. Let's not mess with it anymore.
Can you guys hear us now? And it's just super lagging.
Is it working?
Maybe we should.
Can you hear
I can
us?
start it again.
Can you bring up the sound preferences again and see if we can see the testing thing?
Yeah.
Oh, he hears. Let's not mess with it. If you can
It's
hear it,
good.
we won't mess with anything. We'll just until somebody tells us, okay, perfect. We're all good. Cool. We only lost one person in the midst of all that, but we got another one back.
Either way, we're eating pizza, having a good time. I don't know why. Oh, device. Oh, that's for the camera.
It like took that long for it to recognize it.
I don't even do anything on that computer.
Sweet. So what's going on? I have been kind of
tell me
living.
about you.
I've
They
been
know
living
about
in
what
my
I've
own
been.
little world. Okay. Well, I guess I can kind of. I don't know if I got anything interesting catch up on. Yeah, I know. Getting into trying to just write some music and trying to get my shit together and get my media projects kind of up and running again. I haven't been paying attention to current events or anything. I don't know what's going on.
At all?
Mm-mm.
Okay, you can hear us eating. Good.
Yeah, nice. Nom.
They've been relaxing. Oh, have you been buying the truckers thing at all?
Oh yeah, well, I noticed that early on because I have been appreciating that Kim Iverson lady on the hill. She's like the only she's one of the only remotely based people that I've seen in these kind of mainstream media type.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't even want to call them the corporate press just because they have her on it, but
right.
But yeah, I remember because she likes to do stories about stories that are not getting covered, and that's what she was kind of presenting it as. She's like, "Look at this. This is a big deal. Look at all these truckers, and nobody's talking about it." And I saw that like Justin Trudeau was trying to do the tired old like call them terrorists kind of bit and all that.
Racist.
Makes me happy because these people are really they got nothing and this stuff can't work on anyone with half a brain anymore. So I don't know.
I mean, it seems like I don't know if people are waking up or not, but
I think they are.
Yeah, something's going on.
Not everyone, but I think enough people, and I feel like even people like us. I don't know. I don't want to boast or anything like that, but I somehow like what I'm noticing is even though I've been kind of red pilled for a long time, more and more I don't give a fuck. Like I'm just
they've taken so much.
I don't care what they call me. I don't care what they say. I don't care what they try to do with me. I mean, maybe we'll see how far that goes when they push me far enough. But I don't know. I'm just done.
So.
I'm into the idea of like, yeah, if people want to be stupid enough to fall for propaganda and like give permission to their neighbors being enslaved, well, I'm just gonna be their neighbor and not be enslaved anyway. And I don't know, I'm just not interested in the bullshit.
Yeah, you're not gonna live that kind of life, man. If there is going to be an end soon, I just want to have a way out.
Mm-hmm.
You need to drop one in my mouth. I was up really early this morning.
You were?
Mm-hmm. It's kind of good. I got to see the sunrise. I was playing The Weeknd really loud.
Oh yeah, nice. It's like fun morning music.
We're back constitutional. I think we got it working. It does lag from here to two, but whatever.
Well, we can't do anything about that.
No,
not right now.
I'm gonna get a new. I'm gonna get this closing, and I'm gonna get a new one.
Yeah. It seems like there's kind of a like libertarian, so like get the hell off my lawnism like pipeline. I think I don't even know if I'm quite in the get the hell off my lawn kind of mindset as much as I'm just all like, I just don't care. Then it's hard to explain. I mean, I hope people won't, hang out on my lawn. I don't really think that's going to do them any good. I guess I don't have anything valuable for anyone to loot or anything, so I'm not really one to talk. But
I ate both of my pizzas faster than you ate one. I'm a pig though. Bah.
you're not. Well, you've also been kind of running around while I've been just kind of holding it down with babbling and.
All right, everyone's good.
Anything is fine with stream. That's good. Does that mean everything is fine, or you mean like it's okay as long as no matter what happens, anything is fine.
I
like that. It's very laid back.
We've never been going wild.
We never worried about like losing the audience before. We just kind of bullshit, and for some reason, people don't always get bored.
Also, I talk to other people. The Sunday afternoon streams have been going hog wild.
Nice.
We went for 11 hours the other day.
You had what?
We went for 11 hours.
11 hours.
My mind
was blown that last time after I was on for like 5 hours with you. I was like, oh man.
It goes fast.
Yeah, it kind of does. Especially because we had other guests jump in and stuff. So
yeah,
got to talk to.
Not doing that tonight. My computer will like die.
Yeah.
I think sometimes because I'm going to Twitter as well. Sometimes I might slow it up as well. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that gums it up a little bit. I didn't know that you could connect this through Twitter simultaneously.
I figured out how to do that.
Well, that's cool. Is it just through the YouTube or through the StreamYard?
No, it's from that StreamYard thing.
StreamYard. What do I want to call it? StreamYard.
I just drank the whole time. Although I did drink other stuff. What did you say? Sorry.
I called it Streamlord.
Oh, Streamlord.
I think that's a website where you can illegally watch movies.
I'm sure there's better. I just need to research. But I did buy a year of this. I'm not sure when the year is up, so I might as well use it to tell.
Somebody a while ago told me about Periscope being a way you can stream on Twitter.
All right.
I thought about getting that.
You should get into that.
I don't know. If Michael Malice uses StreamYard, it can't be that bad. And if you're using a free version of it, then maybe you could safely assume that if you decided to start using the paid version of it, it would work even better.
I should be putting it
but
on.
Not if the problem really is that your computer just doesn't have enough RAM to handle.
I think that's something up with the computer because it was fine.
Either the computer doesn't work as well as it used to, or it's just having to work a lot harder to get it through to the Twitter thing simultaneously, or both.
Sorry, Alice. Are you still putting it? Or did you already do it? I'm so sorry. She had to put her cat down, and she liked the stream. It helped.
Oh.
Technology, mommy. I'm sorry, Alice. That's the worst, especially when they're old, because then you have to like make the decision. Are they like, am I doing the right thing? Is it the right time?
Yeah, it was actually really hard for me when we had to put a cat down when I was a kid. It's like had that cat since I was 2.
Aww.
His name was Tiger. He was always lazy and fat, and but I came home from middle school one day, and he was catatonic.
But alive still.
Did you get the pun?
Oh, catatonic.
He was,
I
he
got
was,
that.
He was in a coma, and we found out it was a diabetic coma. And then the vet said that we'd have to give him like 3 shots of insulin a day to keep him alive. And my dad was like, I can't give him 3 shots of insulin a day. We're too busy.
No.
He was 12.
What was his name, Alice? They went to put him down today, but he died in her arms on the way. We need to do a shout out to your cat. What's your cat's name? What a day it's been. You weren't on Twitter today.
Yeah, what's been going on Twitter today?
This is so stupid. This is so funny. It's stupid. Not to like take away from a pet that could go away, but like I said, mental break.
Condolences. Sorry for your loss. Now, what's the silly stuff on Twitter?
Adidas made an ad. It's just boobs. Like 5 row, like probably 20 boobs, very clinical photos, like just straight on. and it's all for boobs, and the ad said something like, "Oh, do you
Adidas
wanna
did
see
this.
it? You should
Was it like
just-"
sports bras covering them, or
No, but they said the sports bras would cover them, and they were using
so
bare
they
boobs.
in the Adidas ad?
Yeah, you'll see it. You'll see it. Hold on.
So there's probably controversy. Is that what you're getting at?
Shout out to Shooter, Home Life for Shooter.
So there's like
you'll
big
see.
corporations doing pornographic ads now.
Basically,
I guess this is
I made
the
a
new-
comment today. I said corporations can be exhibitionists too. Now you know.
yeah. I guess it's not that
And
surprising.
it wasn't even on their woman's brand. It was like, I read that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, this seems almost like, given the appearance of them, this seems like more of a feminism kind of
Yeah,
thing. That
well,
reminds
obviously.
me of, like, if they were like all like really really nice boobs, then that would be
It's a body
that would be
acceptance thing.
less that would be more shocking to me. It would be like, really, is this the times that we're in? What did I miss? But this doesn't surprise me that much.
No,
This
it's
is-
not that crazy, but it's funny, and especially when they say our new sports bra contains 43 styles. It's like, I guess
Yeah,
it's like,
well,
you
why
look like this.
don't they show
You look
it?
like this.
Yeah,
We got
I
the
mean,
stuff for you. You look like this. Your titties look like this. We got the stuff for you.
It doesn't bug me. I guess the only thing is that, like, I guess they're probably going for something with
Shocking.
wokeism and expecting people to get shocked and
This is
and then
funny.
I don't know. So I mean, there's some of the intention behind that I would find slightly annoying, but I certainly am not going to give them the outrage they're looking for if that's what they want. I also never really cared about seeing nipples.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. It just was funny. It's
Yeah.
just funny. And then the wording that, oh, we can tell you these balls.
I'm curious though to see
Right.
if people are freaked out. They should do.
I mean, it was funny. Everyone's making fun of it. That's
Sheath,
for sure.
Sheath Underwear needs to do an ad like that
Right,
and
that's
just
what
show
everyone
all the different scrotums
All of them.
and how they will be able to have a pouch that fits every nutsack.
Gotta do it. Man, I don't know. It was just funny. It just was hilarious.
I see. Well, I might have been trying to assume that was going in a different direction or something, because I would have to imagine that there was probably a reaction.
I'm
to
sure,
it.
yeah, there were people mad and like
Yeah.
obviously shocked. I said some shit about, but it was funny. It was just funny. And then a bunch of people they Photoshop googly eyes. on it
Oh,
already.
nice.
Yeah, like the memes
That's
are
fun.
like, that's what they're laughing because there's that joke of that meme where it's like, haha, this is my new socks, and it's like a sexy girl. It's like a excuse to take a sexy photo, you know.
Uh-huh.
So it's that like.
Oh,
Ooh,
okay.
look at my socks, and then I had the boobs
Yeah.
next to them and said, "Look at our sports bras." It was just the boobs. Like it was just funny. The internet can be funny sometimes. That's all. Anyways, go on. What else have you been doing? Just working, huh?
Yeah, working, hanging out with the fellowship, brotherhood, and stuff like that.
What about the girl?
Um,
Still talking around?
yeah. I could share things with that, but that's kind of a personal thing.
All right.
Otherwise, I'd be more than happy. But yeah,
We'll talk about that later.
we could.
The Fellowship Boys, that's the Tuesday night thing, right? Or you were doing it?
Well, I'm leading a group at my place on Mondays, and then I tend to also go to another one that's been going on for a while on Thursdays.
You're busy.
And sometimes, I don't know, I've been to only a couple of them. It's like a small group thing at the church on Tuesdays that tried to go to yesterday, but kind of got uninterested. Me and my buddy TJ were like, I don't know. We hung out for a while, but then we were kind of out. Just decided to bounce.
Yeah, I feel it. It's all good. You're doing a lot. That's doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah, for sure. It's good. I just yeah, life can be hard. It's good to busy oneself doing things that feel wholesome and that seem like they're kind of building.
There's positive attributes too.
Yeah.
Oh, did you want to?
Everyone, yeah, it feels good to kind of like be able to receive genuine the kind of whatever you would say the benefit of friendship is, like the camaraderie or something like that, and to be able to kind of offer that in return.
Yeah,
It's good for the soul.
everyone needs to hang out and Everyone needs to hang out and, I don't know, get to know another person, especially when you're fairly accepting of each other. It's always nice to hang out with people who like accept you a little bit.
Yeah. And honestly, that's kind of what I've really appreciated a lot of these like Christians over the last couple of years is that for some reason there's a correlation between people in the faith and people who aren't afraid of being near other people, like, you know, and their faces and people breathing out. Like, I don't want to say that like, well, I don't know. It's weird. It's hard to not theorize that like people who have like faith in God are less likely to be falling for like the cultism of like politicians and the science and scientism and stuff like that. There's got to be something to that. I'm just not sure I understand it.
Oh, Havoc's like, I'm gonna end the one. I'll leave it.
Nope, I sure didn't. I did not get. Although I thought about getting some. I had some Raising Canes and it kind of, I had kind of a reaction to it. It kind of made my heart rate. I really like that stuff, but I've been eating healthier, and then I think that since I'm used to eating healthier, eating like stuff in like, you know, fried polyunsaturated fats is kind of causing me inflammation my body's not prepared to handle.
That's right.
But I love those Raising Canes chicken fingers. Oh yeah, this shirt is I got this one a while ago. Like, it was kind of, Larry Sharp was kind of the guy that like practically converted me to the idea of like, you know, libertarianism. I've always been into the idea of freedom. I just never really, he was the one that really helped me understand. And yeah, this one was just, even though I've lived in Colorado all along, his was the only like campaign during that like primary election that caught my attention, and that I was like, yeah, I want that guy to beat Cuomo in the gubernatorial. I love that it has the word goober in it, but yeah, Larry Sharp he's a badass. It says no victim, no crime. Larry Sharp for governor.
I think Alice was saying going back to like your camaraderie, a strong family is a strong family unit helps too. I feel like I
feel like what the stupid government is trying to replace is a genuine community of like people that like love each other and like help each other out without pointing guns at each other, right? So I'm kind of thinking that it's kind of daunting, you know. I'm not trying to take out the government, but I'm kind of trying to live the way a person should in spite of the government, you know.
That's all I gotta do now. It's like most of like everything has to be kind of out of spite a little bit.
I'm also trying to wrap my head around what I perceive as a problem too, because like even people at like the church I've been going to, like some of the stuff that they've been doing, it's not what their normal services are about.
It's but other stuff.
But there have been some programs that they're doing to kind of try to address the issue of politics, and they're coming from the
like how to get involved with it.
Well, they're of course, you know, because they're arguing that a lot of church groups and stuff like that are in the habit of ignoring what's going on with government. And the pastor at this church is pointing out that like, well, Christians are called to be involved. And, you know, and I appreciate the way he's coming from, but they've had like guest speakers that I'm not sure if I'm on the same page with, but it makes me want to kind of step up and kind of try to be an ambassador to them in some ways. Like that lady, one of the things that bugged me was that she made a point about cannabis dispensaries as if that was like a sign that like faith is like losing out in our culture or something like that. And I'm like, why are you focusing on that? And I mean, they brought up things about like the critical race theory in the schools, which I am also opposed to, but I would want to let them know, well, should you really be sending your kids to a government indoctrination camp in the first place if you want to raise them up as, you know, faithful people in the world? And you know, so those are the kinds of points I want to bring up. But war, that's one thing that I think really needs to be stressed, is like, because they make a point not to say, where like they actually make a point to say, we are not telling you to vote for people from this party or that party or the other, but you get that there's a little implication that, like, I mean, you're probably, if you take their advice, they're kind of leaning toward the, you might want to get involved with the local like Republican caucuses and stuff like that, because they're the ones that aren't trying to, you know, force your kids into this like million gender ideology, and they're the ones that are not trying, you know, this and that.
Right.
But somebody needs to stand up there and be all like, well, sorry, if you guys are going to support Republicans, especially for like Senate and House of Representatives, like Congress positions and stuff like that, it's not exactly a very Christian thing to be supporting people that are going to go and commit murder in other countries, you know. And I just think that that might get overlooked if somebody who doesn't pay attention to that stuff doesn't step up.
Yeah. I saw a guy, you know who that Corey DeAngelis?
Mm-hmm.
There was a senator somewhere who was against like vouchers, and he was like making all this, just trying to trap kids in public school even more. And he was a Republican, and it's because he got money from the teachers union, and like, yeah, it's like.
Wait, so Corey DeAngelis
She was sharing about it and showed about it and was talking about it.
Okay, yeah.
I think it's Oklahoma.
Yeah, I like the idea of kind of picking up the torch of John Taylor Gatto, because a lot of people still haven't heard of him, and he did incredibly good work, in my opinion, on compulsory schooling.
Okay. I'm sure my family's heard of that.
I'm sure I've talked to you about him as well.
Yeah, the name sounds familiar.
I mean, it's just that like people, and I don't like that they're kind of thinking like they need to fight the Democrats. Like they're taking as a given that the Republicans and the Democrats are these like opposing factors within this school system that is inevitably going to exist as it is, and that they need to step up and have their say, as if like that's not going to also further the divide. Like, yeah, I mean, while if you're based Christians, I'm probably gonna side with you more philosophically than these like progressive atheist counterparts, but that doesn't mean that you have a right to kind of coerce their kids into, I mean, they're not necessarily saying that they want to bring Christian education into the public schools, but if that's what they're getting at, then I don't think they're really fighting a very good fight.
Right.
Yeah, the only solution I can see to the school thing is like we just have to wake people up to the fact that this is a bad system. We can't be putting kids, it's not even educating them. We have to completely, and that's what John Taylor Gatto really opened my eyes to, is that if you want to educate kids, stop equating education with schooling. It's not the same thing, and usually the schooling is actually like interfering with their access to a real education, which is largely accessed through encouragement and giving them resources. Let's give you some like inspiration, and let's find out what the kinds of things are that interest you. Let's also explain to you the basic practical skills that help a person get through life and why you might be interested in developing these skills, you know, rather than being like, sit down, shut up, do this worksheet. You'll understand why someday. Explain to them why. And if you can't explain to them why, well, maybe you aren't actually teaching them practical ones, like, which is the case. That was my experience in school, is that like, yeah, I mean, theoretically, some of this math stuff could have been useful, but you didn't teach me how to apply it to useful things. You didn't teach me how to do my like tax forms. You didn't teach me how to balance it, how to like, you know, budget my like groceries and rent and utility bills and all this kind of stuff. Those are the only things that I use math for now.
Right. No, it does. Maybe there is going to be a bigger bunch of kids going into homeschool and stuff.
Well, interesting that you say the term fundamental. Like I was raised to think that fundamentalism was basically just anyone that thinks there's a literal thing going on. Are you going to put that on the thing?
No, I
No.
can. Is it? Are you gonna?
Oh, you're hiding it. Oh, no.
No, I was blocking the Russian guy.
Oh, okay.
You want this fundamental one up?
No, I don't care. I was responding to it though.
I'm just
Sure.
teaching how to take a stupid test.
We may as well just we can maybe get into
Because
that.
there's a lag, so then they don't know what we're talking about.
I see. Well, yeah, if there's a lag, then we don't need trolls kind of trying to
that
interfere. That's my issue. And that's a good idea. Maybe we should bring up whichever one we're going to comment on, especially if we're going to get into it. He says, that's my issue. School too. They don't teach you how to think. They just teach you to take a stupid test. Exactly.
That's true.
And all the money that they're giving them, they're just hiring more administrators to just give them more standardized tests and check boxes. And I mean,
and more struggle sessions for CRT stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's a complete waste of money. And how to think, is obviously the more useful skill. I mean, these kids. I mean, we all have the internet now. We all have like a vast amount of information at our fingertips. The best thing that you could teach a kid is like how to navigate, like learning things and how to discern, things that hold up to things that are deceptive and and false and pointless.
There's a good from Alice.
Traditional. Yeah. Thanks for clarifying. Because I still don't know if I know what fundamentalism is, but I think that it's basically like when you're a person that doesn't actually look deeply into the scriptures at all, you're taking it just literally. But a traditional, if you're talking like in a good sense of it, they would be somebody that, in my opinion, would look at it met with the symbolic meaning as well as the historical accuracy of it.
Can you read that?
My daughter with a worksheet packet. Teacher wrote, I gave the kids an hour to do this. And this is all your daughter did. All I could think, why are you making my 8-year-olds do worksheets for real and homework? And that's one thing that John Taylor Gatto got into too, is like the homework. Why is it that we think that homework is a good idea? What it really serves as is if you're trying to indoctrinate kids, then it's going to be that much more effective if you imprison their minds outside of school as well as inside the school. So they never have any time to think. They never have any time to explore what they're interested in, to have just a break from all of that. You got them in these prison schools hours a day, and then they're supposed to have their minds locked up until they go to bed. It's in my opinion, child abuse. I mean, it sounds like I'm being hyperbolic, but I'm not.
There's the underlying, like, when you think about what it's really doing,
and I'm not shaming anyone that does it. Right. I think that there's a silver lining to everything, and there's always hope for somebody. I went through those systems. I think it was maybe a saving grace that I was a bad student and I didn't do my homework. But I think that even people that were diligent students and did their homework and never I think that those people, once they're free, they still have hope of having minds of their own.
Yeah, it can still happen. Oh, daughter's doing better with math.
Homeschooling. I'm so happy that you started doing homeschooling.
But I can tell Alice is a fun mom. So she's a fun mom. It's good. 8th grade, best 3 years of my life. Hey, it happens,
8th grade was the best 1 year of my school career. And it's mostly because I actually made based friends back then. I didn't really get along with my peers in elementary school. And it took me a while to kind of, get out of my, heavy dork phase of like adolescence. But in 8th grade, I found some people that accepted me, and they also got me into drugs, but it was mostly good. I looked back fondly at 8th grade.
I agree with Scapy that moving forward, homeschooling might be the only way. I mean, it just makes more sense too, because you can have, as a community, you can make it a whole community based.
Yeah, it should be. That's how it should be.
Everyone has different strengths and things they can teach.
Yeah, and I guess it's like one of those things, right? Like, it's not even just being outside of the box. It's like, look back at this stop taking for granted what we're used to. Unfortunately, this compulsory schooling system has existed for our lives, so we have a hard time conceiving of any alternative. But I mean, because people think about homeschooling and they assume it's going to have to look the same. But no, that's the good news is that you don't have to get these kids to sit in a seat for what is it, like 9 hours a day and listen to some boring asshole just babble on for, it, like, no, they can be even better educated. I mean, like, some people use like Benjamin Franklin as an example because he was a very impressively educated man who never went to any kind of school. Like, he had a lot of books, I'm sure. He did a lot of thinking and
he had
writing.
to teach himself how to learn too,
Yeah.
and like all that.
Well, when you teach yourself how to learn, that's when you've mastered something.
Yeah, that is the hardest fucking thing. Escaped from Babylon, had a lot of Mennonite friends, and they all quit school after 8th grade and farm. Yeah, man, that was living the dream. That's a dream right there.
Yeah, I would have been down to just go into trade school at about age 15.
It's pretty much what my brother did.
I'd be making a lot more money by now, that's for sure. I'd probably be making like 6 figures by now if I was doing welding when I was like 16. Oh yeah.
Watching Elizabeth daughter this week as our cat was said she's smart. Oh, good. You do when you're at home more. You just, I don't know, and then you're at home more and you learn how to fucking take care of a house too. Like sometimes you gotta clean the bathroom. Sometimes your mom's always cleaning the bathroom like you were gone at school or playing with your friends. Like,
yeah, that would have been helpful. I also did not make the best use of my time that I didn't spend doing my homework. My sister and I were just couch potatoes that ate snacks and watched TV all the time.
Nice.
Our parents probably shouldn't have let us do that, but it's whatever.
Whatever.
I watched The Simpsons a lot. That kind of influenced me, probably in some ways for the better.
Yeah, because it was more dry humor, more like
it was real satire back in the day. They really did get you thinking about culture, second guessing.
Right, that there might be there's another layer to things a little bit.
And making fun of the nonsense.
Yeah.
In a way that you're like, you know what? That is nonsense.
This is totally silly. Let me catch up. Tyler Retrust School just teaches you how to follow orders. Yup. He did trade school and then left after 2 years. Escaped from Babylon. All the Mennonite wives look like me. Apparently. Nice. That's nice. I do dye my hair blonde. I bet the Mennonites don't dye their hair blonde. So it's probably against the rules. Simpsons knows. I'm going to pull this.
I'm not that familiar with Mennonites, but I know a little bit about the Amish, I guess. I know it's not the same, but it's a similar kind of like strict religious sort of thing. Don't they forbid like dancing and music or something like that?
Does anyone know? What's the dog? It was Tanner. I know. I should move it. We could move it closer. I can't remember how far out usually.
Next time I'll come over early just so that we can work on our setup.
It did, but it worked. It worked decent before.
No, and I don't even mean necessarily like fix it to get it to what it was before. I mean, let's make it better than it's ever been.
Okay. I need to get a table in here too. That would be helpful. Okay, it's a little closer. A little better.
Yeah, Simpsons did seem kind of strangely prophetic. I know they definitely lost their touch though. They got away from the real satire and they started going for just the absurd and pointless, and then it just started being, just started reflecting the culture instead of making fun of it.
And you kind of understood it. It was kind of like what was going on in the real world too. Like it was tied to it a little bit. So you kind of like, it's easier to pay attention. Sorry. I have an offering, so I'm all nervous right now.
You seemed a little bit like
I just have to think about it. I
seemed
can't
a little
totally
bit
let out.
Gotcha.
That
explains.
College, jumped around building trades in the 20s. Been working for most. Yeah, that's the way to do it. No, it's just maybe it's the internet and my computer probably. Okay, but the Mennonites, yeah, but they can partake in the secular life for a couple of years, but then they have to choose after 8th grade which one they want. Okay.
I guess that makes sense. I guess the Amish have their version of that where like when you're getting toward
Rumshana?
adulthood, they like
Rumshana.
let you go out into the world and decide if you want to be worldly or if you want to stay in the community.
A Rumspringa or something like that.
That sounds more like something I've heard. Like, what was the first thing you said? Rumsfeld?
Rumshana.
Rumshana. That sounds like Rosh Hashanah, which is a Jewish thing.
Right.
And then Rumsfeld is that neocon.
Yeah, that fucking neocon. At 16, oh yeah, heck yeah. You can do so much more stuff too. Yeah, there's a lot of manufacturing here and like war stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I feel like by the time the kids are 16, if you don't like stop them from like thinking and imagining and kind of deciding like what kind of occupation they're interested in moving toward in life, I mean, most 16-year-olds are prepared to kind of focus on that by then if you got out of their way during their early development.
Right.
I mean, first thing you should do is just get out of their way and stop forcing them, especially to fill their heads with stuff that not only will they probably never use, but they themselves tell you they are not interested in and they hate it.
Like, they're like, well, you have to do it.
Like, yeah. Are we just assuming that they'll understand? Because no, I don't think that happens to just about anyone. Like most of these kids, when a subject doesn't interest them, some of their classmates might be interested in it. Let them learn that stuff. We don't all have to have the same interests. There are certain universal practical skills, sure, but there are some things that interest some kids, other things that interest other kids. I mostly wanted to do art and stuff like that, but even when I got to college, I had to like, if I wanted to be a music major, like, and I also wanted to take like a different kind of art class, I was going to have to go through this other kind of program. I could only use one as an elective and substitute that for something else. I really just, because I learned for a little while how to use a pottery wheel in high school at this like little Quaker boarding school I went to until I got kicked out. But, and yeah, I wanted to, that was fun. I wanted to like use clay and stuff. But then when I was in college, they were like, okay, well, you can take the ceramics elective, but first you have to take color theory.
Right.
And I'm like, color theory? What does that have to do with ceramics?
I went to the shooting range in high school. I had to do a project on living by myself with no skulls. Hell yeah. Applicable, which obviously parents are supposed to teach that stuff initially. But yeah, I guess this in the community, it's just better to learn some of that stuff from the community as well. The community, not public school, how it's turned out.
Well, I mean, chances are people in your community would teach these things better than the teachers anyway. Like, I hate to pick on teachers too much, but a lot of the people that do get hired in the school systems, they do fit that old saying of if you can't do, teach. But if you can't do, then you're also not really fit to teach. I'm sure there's something for them to do. See, but I think that's another thing to this society. Like, we really, it's that big of a problem. So a better built society would have a place for these people that seem to get teaching positions just because they can't find any other way to get by in life. I mean, I feel so bad.
Yeah, because you have to teach the how to do to, like, yeah.
I mean, we don't really need
all teachers. Hashtag not all teachers.
We don't really need people to just shame kids into sitting in a chair and listening to boring lectures for hours at a time. That's not really something we need. I believe those people have something to offer, though, that is better than that.
Well, look at that. That's life, man. He got to follow. That was like the dream. Be able to do an art. Just didn't have to pay for law school.
Yeah, see, that's awesome. That's the kind of stuff that, yeah.
Those are the good American stories I like
mean,
to hear.
And I feel like, and I don't want to pick on my parents either, but, sometimes a kid that does go through the government school system, their parents might be a little bit more receptive to those kinds of plans than others. Fortunately, like my mom was so deep into the kind of university philosophy that she just couldn't even conceive of like, hey, maybe I could just take private music lessons and not go to college. It was like, well, no, college, everything's about college.
College. Oh, someone's asking about it's a towel. Third Eye Vision. It's gun policy. Or
fuck you know.
Just their website. Oops. Can't sit in a chair that long. Had a history teacher who didn't know shit about history. It was funny though. That's good.
I had a fourth grade teacher that taught history in a way that I enjoyed. That was like the one experience like that I ever had. She was animated with it. She would like tell the stories with like she was talking about like a battle with like cavalry and stuff like that. She'd have like a little horse and be like she like would tell the story in an interesting kind of way. Yeah.
Firearmspolicy.org. It was firearmspolicy.org. FYI.
Oh man, that reminds me. I want more pizza.
Yeah, I know. You keep talking about pizza.
I want another piece of pizza.
Can you bring me a piece of the little? It's like chicken and garlic, the smaller of the other pizza. I can eat so much pizza. The rectangle pizza. That shit. What was up with that? Although I had to take in, I didn't even get to eat the hot lunches because I had to. I had to make my own lunch. My parents wouldn't even make us lunch. We had to take our own lunch. That's one thing. That was like a kid skill that like it didn't bug me or I didn't know any different growing up, but making my own lunch was always good.
I didn't know if you wanted hot sprinkles, so I brought them.
Thanks.
No. Oh, look at me like that. I kind of like the school food, but I mean, part of that was because my parents couldn't cook either.
Neither of them could?
But I did. Well, yeah, my dad definitely couldn't cook. My mom had the ability to cook, but she was crazy and she believed in that Weight Watchers stuff, and everything she tried to make was lean and dry and low fat.
And not as healthy as it could be.
But then when I was in middle school, she got into Atkins, and so she started making like bomb food. Like she'd make like a pizza quiche type thing for dinner. And I mean, sometimes it was a little heavy, and I would feel like, oh man, it's like it tastes good, but do we have to eat eggs and cheese and heavy cream at every meal?
I gotta send a picture.
I kind of miss the rectangle pizza from the school cafeterias. I never liked the canned green beans. It was like gray in color, and sometimes they would say you couldn't go to recess until you ate your green beans. Although one custodian tried to help out, he was like, just hold your nose when you're eating it and it won't be so bad and you can go to recess. But the square pizza is good. Sometimes they have Pizza Hut day. I like the Salisbury steak. I think sometimes they had like chicken fried steak.
Oh, chicken. Yeah, chicken fried steak was like it looked pretty decent.
Or I'm sorry, country fried steak.
Randy had a bunch of fat grandmas in the back making homemade chicken and noodles. That sounds good. This Marco is wild. FYI.
I don't remember. Well, yeah, they had the crinkle fries. I actually did appreciate those back then. I'm sure they were baked in the oven, but it wasn't bad for fries. I remember we used to, on Burger Day, they would always give us the crinkle fries. And I don't know, I had a connection with one of my classmates, like, because, you know, we were both kind of, I was like always the skinny kid that could eat a lot of food and just, you know, for some reason I had a fast metabolism. He wasn't so skinny, but we were both proud of our, you know, piggishness. So we'd like always be the ones that brought extra money to like buy an extra piece of pizza. We'd always get the extra chocolate milk. And we'd be showing off how much we can eat. And he'd always put his fries on the burger. And we just,
Ooh.
yeah, right. He called it the Mondo Burger. I think that was a reference to the Good Burger movie, though. That's not what a Mondo Burger is.
We had in middle school and high school, we had like Arby's, and remember high school made really good French fries. They made them there.
Crinkle fries, though, the reason I know crinkle fries are totally legit is because of Runza. And you guys probably don't know Runza. They have Runzas in Colorado. There's one in like Loveland. But most of the ones I've seen are in Nebraska.
In Chicago, they make good deep fried crinkle. Not at schools, but they make good crinkle fries. Sorry, I'll have more energy in like 2 seconds. I have to know an absolute.
You wrapping up the thing?
Yeah, there'll be an absolute answer, and then I won't have to think about it for the moment.
Oh, cool. I wasn't worried about it or anything, but that's nice. You'll feel a little bit more at ease in a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, you seem a little antsy in your pantsy.
And I'm not even that. It's like this doesn't work.
Yeah, you just
can't work.
I mean, I get it. I mean, you're in a sales thing, and the stakes are high. You know.
It is. The stakes are so high.
And I remember ice cream scoop of tuna on lettuce. That does sound pretty bad. I mean, I'd probably be able to do my own version of that. That'd be good. Because I could make really bomb tuna salad, but I'm sure the school cafeteria tuna salad would not have been good.
I'm such a piggy.
Who is?
Me?
You is?
I can eat. It's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, I like it. So you know how I'm trying to get fat?
Yeah.
It's not really working.
Maybe you just you're just lean. You're just a lean guy.
I used to weigh 165
Really? When was that?
for like years. I didn't think I could budge from that. But I also never go to doctors or anything like that. And I didn't own a scale, but for some reason I decided to buy a scale. And I'm 145. Actually, no, I'm
like 130.
over the last couple of weeks, I've managed to gain like maybe 1.5 pounds. It seems like it's sticking around. So maybe there's progress. Maybe eventually when I keep up my extra protein consumption and the lifting I'm doing, maybe it's just not going to happen that fast.
I guess if it hurts your stomach.
I don't actually mean I'm going to get fat. I'm trying to gain weight. It's going to be muscle weight. I actually do kind of feel like I'm ripped. I'm just not sure why I don't weigh.
You're ripped. You've always been. I've always thought you were ripped. That's stupid.
Yeah, when I'm in a kind of a habit of doing some kind of weightlifting, I already have tone just from the kind of keto that I do. It just already gives me muscle tone, even if I'm lazy. But when I do lift, then I definitely get noticeable tone. I'm not really bulking yet, though. And that's what I want to do. I want to see if it's possible for my ribs to not show.
I know I have to do a little work on my phone.
Oh, so never mind.
No, you're fine. I mean, it'll take a minute, but
That's okay. They sure put a lot of sauce. I mean, it tastes good. It's no substitute for a true Chicago deep dish, though. That's what they're going for with all the sauce they put on here.
yeah, that one's really, it was too much sauce for me.
Have you been to one of the Giordano's in the Denver yet?
Not the Denver one, no.
There's like two of them now. There's one on Broadway and the one that we saw on 16th. I feel like it can't be as good if they're making it a like franchisee kind of chain now. But who knows?
Oh yeah.
What I
yeah,
really-
once they once they start it, you know.
What I really want to try is the blue pan. I've heard good things. I just like the concept.
The blue, the deep,
Yeah.
the deep dish, right?
Yeah, it's like supposed to be similar to Chicago deep dish, but it's Detroit deep dish.
Okay.
And I guess the blue pan thing is a reference to the origin of that. Like there was an actual like old mechanic shop that had all of these square pans for like, you know, leaving little nuts and bolts in them while you're working on the car. And they found that they worked for like pizza pans. So
Yeah, it just worked. That was good. They reused it.
I think they're like square deep dish pizzas or something.
Damn. Did I do the math right? Yes. Sorry. To talk out loud.
I mean, I mostly do like I'm actually I'm like a cross between like a cyclical keto and almost like a carnivore diet most of the time. I'm not really dirty bulk. I'm just eating. I mean, I realized a while back that I was like definitely under consuming protein, partly because I think my digestion was a little bit off, and I realized that I couldn't drive and work for 12 hours at a time and eat because when I was digesting my food, it kind of sapped my energy. So I just kind of started fasting a lot until eventually I started losing my mind, which would probably happen when you're starving yourself.
Thinking about that, you're like, maybe I'm starting like I'm.
Yeah, no, totally. Well, because when I looked up how to bulk on a keto diet, they were suggesting that I should probably eat upwards of like 5 times as much protein as I was eating. I'm like, okay, well, maybe I should at least eat twice as much protein as I've been eating then.
But you also have if food makes you sick, it's hard to just fucking eat everything. Like,
well, but I figured out the problem because I've dealt with it before. Because in my efforts to consume more protein, I'll do things like, well, I don't do this much probably because, you know, fast food is not clean. It's not good for you. But sometimes I've been driving and I'm like, I'll go get like a classic triple with bacon from Wendy's. And then I got like a little acid reflux. And I'm like, oh. Most people don't know that when you have acid reflux, that's usually because you don't have enough stomach acid.
Oh, you told me that one time when you tried.
But yeah, I just went and got some betaine HCl with Pepsin, and all of a sudden, yeah, it's
Who would have thought?
Well, back when I had really serious GERD, I had to take like 8 of those with every meal because I had that. It was that bad. This time I'm one per like heavy protein meal is seriously improving things. So I'm on the up and up.
That's good.
I mean, I was going to be a nutritional therapist. I just have to apply what I know.
Right. You have to do what you know how to do and not do teach. Whatever.
Right.
Too funny. Sorry, I'm boring everybody.
You hate Chicago too much to open your heart up to deep dish pizza?
I have a whole thing about Chicago. I feel like what the deal is with Chicago is even just any small in the whole place you go to is like delicious.
Yeah.
But I know that the deep dish thing is like a thing, but
I had one incredibly fun vacation to Chicago. One of my closest friends has lived in a suburb area over there for a long time. And I went out to Chicago. We went to go see Radiohead. he had this girl that he was kind of close to, and that was fun hanging out with her. And I had legit like Chicago deep dish pizza at this like, you know, probably mafia run hole in the wall place. We saw like street performers. We went to the beach. We went to a hot dog festival and watched like this like it was like an NSYNC and Backstreet Boys cover band while we're just like getting hammered in the middle of the day. It was a fun time.
That does sound like a good vacation.
Yeah.
How old was high school when you did that?
No, that was like maybe 3 years ago.
Oh, okay. You got to enjoy it as like an adult.
It's crazy how time flies though.
I used to go to Chicago all the time. Then once my grandma died, I didn't go as much. I have a lot of family there. Post Stoner with his $1 breakfast pizza slices.
Come and go. Used to call come and go Jizz and Jet.
Jizz and Jet.
Oh, he probably shouldn't. I mean, I don't mind, but he probably shouldn't.
No, that'd probably be bad on your tummy.
Yeah, I don't think that eating tomato paste is good for the doggies. He's going to end up like getting the shits or something.
And he has such a sensitive tummy as it does.
Yeah, dude, come on, man. Don't you know? No, you're just a silly doggy with the peanut brain. Yeah, nice. I've been doing some like smoothies and stuff like that too. Yeah, stuff is kind of helping out. Banana is a good idea. I've been putting like mango and blueberries in like a goat whey protein smoothie with like probiotics and prebiotics and collagen protein and stuff. But banana sounds like that'd be bomb. Kind of thickened it up a little bit. Well, I feel like I've been talking about food and smoothies for a while. What else does anybody talk about that hasn't been talked about already when it comes to not liking the state? And I'm out of the loop.
For what? What I'm working on?
Well, whatever. I mean, I feel like our audience here is kind of largely.
It's lagging so bad. Do you want to stop it and start over?
If you think that'll help.
Why don't we try that? Then I can get this.
I mean, people aren't really complaining about that, but
true. They're just not counting very much.
Yeah, I addressed the thing about the banana smoothie, and that was already 3 minutes ago, and
yeah,
probably
everyone. When you finally see this, we're gonna stop it. Maybe restart my computer, and then we're gonna redo it. Let me do work for a minute, and then we're gonna start again. Cause do you have anything to do tonight? Are you good?
Well, actually, I was going to plan on trying to work whenever we wrapped it up.
Okay.